Susul.
Hello and welcome to Under the Plumbob, the podcast about all things related to the EA Maxis series of games called The Sims. We avoid the real world by talking about our made-up ones. Each episode, we will focus on one of several rotating themes, including building, gameplay, lore, and more. My name is Melissa. Sometimes I'm an editor, and sometimes I just talk into your faces and right into Caitlin's ears.
Oh, God. I am Caitlin, and Melissa's like right there.
I'm like right there. Right into your audio holes.
Right into my ear face.
Thanks for letting me cozy on up into your audio canals.
Oh, God. Petting a white cat.
I'm just curled up. I'm like, here I am. Purr meow. And now this show is getting weird.
Shouldn't have let us alone. We'll yes and each other till the end of time. Sorry.
Yep. That's how this is going to go, and I'm not mad at it. This episode, we're going to be talking about Sims 2 and two of the most fondly remembered families, the Pleasants and the Dreamers. I would be remiss if I did not shout out Roxy's ever-present Kermit the Frog reference. The Pleasants, the Dreamers, and me. So, there's your Muppet shout-out, Roxy. If you're new to this show, welcome. We are this level of weird all the time.
We're sorry and not sorry.
Exactly. Hopefully, you're going to find us mildly entertaining. You might learn something new and stick around. Tell your friends. We'll get to all that later, the plugs and whatnot. But in general, if you want to talk to us, you can reach out at undertheplumbobpodcast@gmail.com. To the meat of it, tell us about these two families and maybe a little bit about why they interact.
Oh, sure. We're going to start with the Dreamers. So they're a pre-made family in Pleasant View. Darren and Darlene Dreamer were also seen in Sims 3, but we're going to talk with Sims 2 at the start.
They're in Lucky Palms, right?
They are in Lucky Palms, which you had to buy from the Sims 3 store.
Yeah.
As the person who did not play Sims 3 for long, you had to purchase them with Sim points.
I did not get that far in my Sims 3 career.
But they were, at the time, they were dating. But when you start Sims 2, Darlene has died. Her grave is in the back by the willow. So you can go cry over her grave if you wish.
Darlene.
So everybody in the family has names that start with the letter D. So Darren Dreamer, Darlene Dreamer, and their son Dirk Dreamer. The family is very poor. They have less than 1,000 simoleons, and they have 3 overdue bills just around the house that you get to go
Can
find.
relate.
Yeah.
Can relate.
And which usually doesn't happen when you create a family, but they are pre-made. So they get special circumstances.
This whole episode, I think, is, as I said before, kind of a love letter to, as we've talked about on more than one episode, but The Sims 2 kind of setting things up for storytelling.
Oh, so good.
In their pre-made families. There was a direction in which you were prompted when you started the families in Sims 2. So Can I take a little quick tangent?
Go for it.
Shout out Team Cowplant.
I'll drink my coffee while you talk. Hydrate.
I know you're a twin. This is a fun behind the scenes fact, but are you like, do you and your twin have like cutesy names like Caitlin and Kendra, or
no, it's like Caitlin and Emily. My mom was we're very fraternal, which was the first big grown-up word we learned. And she was also she tried, like, we didn't have matching outfits. We only wore matching outfits when people bought them for, like, outside, like, family members would buy them for us. And she was like, she tried very hard to be like, you don't have to be the same person. You don't have to match. We don't have to do that to you.
I think that's good. We'll get to more on twins in a minute.
Later.
But I did want to talk about naming family members all the same name. So shout out to my fam. My parents are Jean and John.
Oh.
Coincidence that they met and did that. I'm the firstborn, and they named me Melissa, but one of their backup names was Jessica. So they went with Jessica for my sister, who was born a couple years later. And then my brother was a little surprise. And they weren't going to name him after my dad, but the story goes that my dad held him in the hospital and was like, "Can we name him John?" And so he's not a junior, but he's JJ. His initials are John Joseph, after my grandpa too. So we have Jean, John, Jesse, JJ, and Melissa.
Oh, you were
so.
At least you're not the last one with the like weird. We gave
right.
Up on the.
That'd be a real third child move for sure. But yeah, I like to call my parents out for just setting me up for black sheepdom right off the bat. So if you played this family and ended up straying from the D naming convention, I feel you. I feel that real hard.
It's hard to come up if you don't have the name set up. It's hard to come up with I need another D name. I need another D name. What is it gonna be?
Pop open another tab in your internets and babynames.com.
It was
baby
harder
names
during Sims 2 to tab out. I don't think you could. Could you?
That's true. You couldn't even pull it up on your phone, honestly. I definitely did those planning sessions in ahead of time. Like my childhood internet searches were probably like babynamesworld.com. Like I kind of remember my mom being like, "Hey, why is this site something you visit a lot?"
Darling, my darling oldest child, what do you have to tell me?
Sorry, I'm fascinating with making names cohesive because mine isn't.
It's okay.
So, what's the deal with the two remaining dreamers?
So, with all Sims pre-made, you get a little splurge about the sum up of their house before you click it, and there's read, Darren is pursuing his dream of being an artist while his son Dirk hits the books. And Darren may have found his muse, but will his creativity be enough to win Cassandra's affection?
Oh, that's right. This has an intertwining with the Goth family. I totally forgot about that. So I'll get into Darren in a second, but do we remember what Darlene did? Do we know?
Job or?
Yeah, before she perished.
I don't think we do. We knew
Dreamer.
Darren did some stuff before.
It looks like her page is not really built out. In Sims 3, she was artistic, charismatic, childish, family-oriented, and a hopeless romantic, which makes me extra sad.
Also, she's so pretty.
Yeah. And she had the family-oriented, surrounded by family trait. So who knows if they were, I feel like they were both local artists and weren't really, into making a ton of money, but they had each other. And I'm not going to cry. You're going to cry.
Aww. We're going to make it through. It's okay.
It's going to be fine. Interestingly enough, and we're not really going to go too far into zodiac signs this episode, but I think it's interesting to note that in Sims 3, she was a Virgo.
Yeah, we got one. We got one, fam.
Got one. But in Sims 2, even though she wasn't a playable character, she's listed as a Gemini. So I got one.
Damn. We both got her. We both dibs.
We did.
Both dibs.
And her death is listed here as dying in a fire. So.
No. She was probably cooking food for her family that she loved a lot.
Yeah.
It's fine.
She is super past. We'll get to her in a moment. But Darren, husband, father, aspiring artist, who has a crush on Cassandra Goth, adorable.
Mm.
His little bio reads, Darren has missed his wife ever since her death. Will he ever get another chance at love? Darren, yes. Aww. Papa Darren.
Come on, boo. You got this.
Don't be sad, Papa D. Cassandra wants the D. Cassandra Goth wants the D. For sure.
Double D. To be fair, she's got a D in the form.
Yeah, that's true. And honestly, we probably made that joke then too. But she could have a double D, so
double D, and then have a bunch of D's when she always She always wants 6 kids. Whenever I play that, she has the 6-kid one.
Cassandra,
every time.
Girl, calm yourself. Anyway, he has high points in this is Darren. Darren has high points in the creativity skill, and that's it. Being well-rounded is overrated. At one time he was in the business career track, but has aspirations of being a painter. Again, we know this from the memory system, and it helps you build that story around a character. He quit the business career. He has aspirations of being a painter, and he quit the business career around the time of his wife's death. Oh my God.
That makes sense. You lose someone you love the most in your life, and you're like, why am I doing this stupid? I don't want to do this. The person I was working, I want to do what I want.
I am crying right now. It's fine.
The struggles.
I love this. Darren considers Don Lothario an enemy, while Don just thinks of him as an acquaintance. So Darren's like,
hilarious.
This man who has won the affection of Cassandra, who I pine over. And Don's like, sorry, Darren, who?
Who are you?
What's this?
Who?
Oh, hi. Are you? Hi. Hilarious.
Oh, you're the dude that's always hanging around my fiance.
Yeah, who I'm definitely do not care about. Like, that's the worst thing about Don. Like, he could just... Anyway... Check out our Goth and Lothario episode. Just go listen to those to hear rants.
He makes good-looking kids. That's the big bummer.
Fine, he does. Are his kids as cute from Sims 4 Don Lothario? Hot take.
No, because his face shape is weird.
I agree.
Sims 2, adorable. Those green
chiseled,
eyes, which are I've had a lot of testing things with Don Lothario's kids in Sims 2. All gorgeous.
So what's your sexual orientation? Well, I'm really into computer-generated cartoon men who sleep around on me. Is that a type? I don't know. Who's to say?
But my children will be pretty. That's all I really care about. My children,
beautiful offspring.
Green eyes.
Amazing.
Green eyes.
There is a high chance that Darren, along with Brandy Broke and Nina Caliente, will appear in the welcome wagon if you play in Pleasantville, because they are all unemployed. So they have the time. They're like, how about we go and welcome you to the neighborhood because we don't have jobs. I get it.
Also, what a weird batch of people to come and see. So you have Darren and Brandy, who are super nice, super friendly, and Nina, who's like, do you have money?
The worst.
Hello, I will sleep with you if you want. I will ruin your marriage. Come here.
Speaking of ruining marriages, at the time that you start gameplay in Sims 2, the world is set up where Cassandra is betrothed to our favorite Don Lothario. If Darren invites Cassandra over when you first play the Dreamer family, there's a high chance that she will flirt with him autonomously. If this happens, then she will fall in love with Darren, which will instantly mean that she's cheating on Don Lothario with Darren.
Yay! Make that happen.
I do not condone cheating, but I think the fact that she autonomously is going to come over and be like, Darren, you're the one that I want. I want the double D.
Double D?
I think.
It all depends on which house you play first. That's the whole thing. It's a choice when you start Pleasantville in Sims 2, because that'll determine the rest. It'll determine how you play the rest of the neighborhood. Yeah. Because if you play the Dreamer house first, that ruin you. By the time you go to the Goth, what they set up there can't happen, or it probably won't happen. But if you play the Goth house, if you play the Goth house first, the chances of getting through to the marriage is possible. So Cassandra could already be married to Don Lothario.
Yeah.
If he doesn't run away from the altar.
Yeah.
Because he's an asshole.
And we do discuss the finer points of that in our, I think, the Don Lothario and Caliente episode. So check that out. So, a little bit of a different story in Sims 3. You can purchase them, as we mentioned, in Lucky Palms. He's dating Darlene, his soon-to-be wife. He's famous there, which, I mean, if you want to talk about potential, like, backstory and how it all flows together, like, maybe he was just, like, really big in the art scene before he gave it all up to let his wife flourish in her art and become a businessman, and then she died. And we'll talk about that in a second. But Darren also means oak tree, edge, or great.
Because he's strong like oak. He's
great man.
He's the center of his family.
Great strong man. Yes.
Does what is best for family and country.
Oh, Darren, you're the daddy we do not deserve. Anyway.
And in my gameplay, always ends up with 9 children because Cassandra wants 6 kids.
Yeah. What about Dirk? Speaking of famous Sims, tell us about OG Dirk Dreamer, non-Sims 4 Dirk Dreamer.
Dirk, who's Darren's son. So his little summary is, though it's been hard without his mother, Dirk has made every effort to do well in all areas of his life. God. What a good boy.
Goodest.
What a good one. And he's dating Lilith Pleasant, who is the goth daughter of the Pleasant family, which is an interesting dynamic.
Totally.
So after his mother's death, his grades, he had an A and then it fell to a D-, which is understandable. Dude, that's a lot to go through. Grades not important at that time. But by the time the game begins, his grades are nearly
memories.
Back.
Love it.
So I love the memory system. It's so what a good work ethic. He dropped and he's like, you know what? I got this though. So I'm gonna go through and fix what I did because it's important. What a good boy.
Best.
So Lilith and Dirk are dating, but Darren has not met Lilith and Dirk hasn't met Lilith's parents. So it's up to the player to decide why. Are they in a new relationship? So they wouldn't. Are they just trying to keep it hidden because hidden romances are more exciting?
Is it the sort of thing where Dirk has this, the good boy, the overachiever, expectation on him? Maybe his father kind of builds that up in him and he doesn't want to show that he's I'm dating the dark goth girl. I don't know.
My shipper heart loves that though. I really love that when the good character is seeing the bad character. Yeah. Though that's the kind of fix I read.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. So Dirk has skills in charisma and logic, and he has the fortune aspiration, which makes sense. They're very poor by the time because his dad is unemployed. He's trying to make it as an artist, but it's hard. And so Dirk wants to be more secure in his life. And so with the charisma and logic and fortune aspiration, Dirk would make sense in the business career, and he'll often, when he grows to an adult, he will want to be in the business track. But also, if he could be a professional athlete, that'd be cool too. So he also rolls that sometimes as well.
I mean, who can blame him?
Yeah, either or. I could either be a CEO or I could be a professional athlete. Whichever one works out for me.
They both make a lot of money. Cool. I get it.
Yeah. And he's the only pre-made base game teen in Pleasant View who doesn't have any siblings. The only child.
Only.
Dirk means dagger or ruler of the people.
Sure.
Those are two very different meanings.
I think a dirk is a type of dagger.
I thought it was a type of dagger? Oh. Maybe his pointy, prickly side is why him and Lilith get along.
Hey, Dirk, you're a prick.
Want to go out? I like that in a boy.
Aww. I bet they do. I bet they have that make fun of each other relationship. She's probably cute. You student council nerd, come here and make out with my face.
And he's like, okay.
What about in The Sims 4?
In Sims 4, Dirk shows up in the Get Famous pack, and we were all very excited. It's a little Easter egg in Sims 4 when him and Dustin show up. He's a 4-star celebrity with a good reputation. He has the fame quirks of no touching and a phone fanatic, which I have, and I'm not famous. So
no touching, please. Agree.
No toques, por favor. He's a tech guru with a computer whiz aspiration. So that kind of businessy, ish.
Yeah.
But he's not quite the same. As with all things in Sims 4, with Sims 2, things are not quite linear because Sims 2, Dirk has blue eyes and black hair. I love that blue eye recessive gene. Love it. I sound so weird, and I'm like, recessive genes, yes, but they were so hard to get. Everybody had brown hair and brown eyes in Sims 2, and you're like, oh, gray eyes, oh my God, come here, you're my
Especially when you played for a while, it was like, and now I have a whole town of brunettes with brown eyes. Okay, thank you so much.
Then there's one with gray eyes, and you're like, yes.
Yeah.
You're different. And Sims 4 Dirk has brown eyes and brown hair, and their skin tones don't exactly match, which is fair because there's more options in Sims 4 for color instead of the 4 that are in Sims 2.
Yep.
So the skin tone thing makes more sense, but the blue eyes are gone. So not quite the Dirk we remember.
And it is noted that like Sims 4, Sims 2, alternate universe, but I like to think that they mimic each other's timelines. There are just some key differences. So
the aliens are friendly and walking among us all the time.
So Darlene, Dirk's mom, Darren's deceased wife, her tombstone is on the lot when you first play. As we mentioned, she passed away due to a fire. We don't have a ton of details on that. If you played this game and, wrote that little backstory in your head, we want to hear it under the plumbobpodcast.com. Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Just checking. Darlene means little dear one. So I'm crying. It's fine.
And she died when Dirk was a child. So he did grow up badly as a teenager.
So he had his mother while he was a child, per his memories.
Yes. Like he learned all the toddler things. He learned to walk and talk and go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then she died, I think, when he was about to enter teenagedom. So then he grew up badly. So maybe he met Lilith in detention during his rebel streak.
Right. Do you remember when we talked about the Broke family? Yes. And Papa Skip had a clone in the game, in the inner files of the game. Check out that episode if you don't know what we're talking about.
I confused everybody with that. Yes, I was like, I figured it out, but I also have a big graph that's helping
and
me.
I think we talk about it there too, but the reason that they're there is to it's a developer piece of the game that allows them to set up these families and then also, set up these memories and then create the very rich backstory where Darlene was a part of Dirk's life and was there and then died. So in the game, in the inner workings of the game, there is a Darlene clone. She's the true mother of Dirk. So it's for development purposes, you can make that right in your brain, but if you want to add a story to it, then maybe the aliens are involved. Who's to say?
Always. And somehow time travel.
Just throw them in there. In terms of the roots of the Dreamer family, you can check out the Sims Wiki for a full family tree, and that's built out based on, the clones that we just mentioned and the characters that have been built out to make up the family tree and the memories. At the time of playing Sims 2, as we mentioned, only Dirk and Darren are playable. In the time of Sims 3, when you purchase the Dreamers from Lucky Shores, you can get Lucky Palms. Hey-o.
We didn't play Sims. We are Sims 2 people. Leave us alone.
Sorry, Ava. You can get Darren as his own family, and then if you were to play with Darlene, she is a family, and she lives with her parents, Omar and Mariana Matlapin. Matlapin. It's not that.
That sounds right.
Matlapin is Swahili for the different or difference. Omar means speaker in Hebrew, and Mariana means of the sea. Yeah.
I like that name.
They are playable if you get The Sims 3. If you want a full background on that branch of the family, check out The Sims Wiki. But for our purposes today, we're going to move on to the Pleasants, which is another family in The Sims 2 in Pleasant View. Hello, the Pleasants in Pleasant View.
Mm.
And they are pretty tied in with the Dreamer family timeline, as we mentioned, the Broke family timeline. And now I'm going to tell you a bit about them. There's some drama with the Pleasants. How do you feel overall about the Pleasants? Did you play them a lot?
I did, and there was so much you could do and so many options with what you could play them as. It's very every time I had to restart the Pleasant family, I played them differently because there's so many options. Do you want them to stick together? Do you want to split them up? Do you want what do you want them to be like? And it's rife with drama.
We'll get into it, but I do want to say, as a self-apology and an apology to 2019 Melissa, that the Melissa that played The Sims 2, I was just a wee baby, and I definitely was all about keeping the families together. I still kind of play with that.
I did too. Yeah.
But I think if I played today, I'd be like, fuck this guy. No, Mary Sue, you're going to live your best life. He's out of here. He's leaving. Get the twins. We're doing this for Mary Sue. So we'll get into their whole deal.
Yes. How I played them as a teenager is different than when I had to reinstall everything on this PC that I have now, and I reinstalled it. I was like, she deserves that. She worked hard. Did not be treated like shit. No, he is out of there.
Let's get into it. They're this stereotypical goody-goody upper middle class family. They have a late model minivan, not a Tesla middle class, but they're the second richest family in the neighborhood, and they like to pretend.
I did love their house. Their house was great.
They have a nice ass house. I do remember that.
Cool.
I think I started playing them to play the twins and then was like, okay, yeah, I like this situation. They like to pretend they have no problems, but we are about to get into the drama. We all know that they are giant fakes, and there's a nice little, I don't know if it's an Easter egg, but if you purchased Sunlit Tides for Sims 3, Daniel and Mary Sue are there on their honeymoon. So if you played there, who's to say that story does not precede what happens in Sims 2. As we all know, chronologically, 3 comes before 2, if we're thinking that they're all in the same timeline.
Stupid prequels. But when I was looking stuff up, their little in Sims 3, their little sum up was things will only stay this perfect forever, right? I was like,
what's to come? Yeah, their blurb for Sims 2 is, on the surface, Daniel and Mary Sue Pleasant seem to have the perfect life, but is their love a flimsy facade? And can Angela and Lilith make the right choices when it comes to love? Tell me about Papa Dan.
So his sum up is very random. Since his father Jeff died without achieving his dream of going to Mars, Daniel has felt an overwhelming guilt.
I think there's a reason for that.
What? Why?
We'll get to that background in a moment, yes.
So he was a child in Sims 1 along with his sister Jennifer. Jennifer is also a playable... Do you remember the Sim bin? Where all the Sims that you weren't playing were kept in a... So her with her husband John Burb with their daughter Lucy are in the Sim bin, the Burbs. And so you can just put them in a house and play them. And they do start with relationships with Daniel. So you can, but Daniel, he has a relationship with them. You can't call him them though because they don't have a phone. There's no cell phones.
So yeah, the Sim bin. I would pull some families from there and play them out. I wonder if we should do an episode on digging through the Sim bin and taking because those families, even though they didn't have households, they weren't placed in the world yet, they still had built out backstories. They were connected to the other family. It just mwah, Italian kiss for Sims 2.
There was the one family that's just a whole bunch of orphan children. They're all
yes, I remember that one.
And one's name was Ginger, and she was just so cute. I really loved her look was just you're so adorable. You're gonna be an actress.
Oh my god, I love them.
Daniel has red hair, green eyes.
He makes good babies, too.
He's a romance sim in the athletic career. Ugh. So if you want, he does. It's unfortunate. I think it's on purpose. We're going to make the most good-looking Sims assholes who want to sleep around. And you're like, they're awful, but also, them jeans, though. So
someone on the Max's team from way back is very jaded.
So he's sleeping with the maid, Kaylin
We get this wrong every time. I don't know if we get it. I don't know if we know what is right. Langerak? Sure.
That sounds better, Langerak. Who's also, she's a family. When you finally move her in with somebody, she is a family sim. And she's sleeping with Don Lothario and Daniel Pleasant. Girl, do better for yourself.
Is Kaylin patient zero for the STD, or is Daniel? Because
maybe. I assume it's Don, if it's gonna be anybody.
That's true, yeah.
And Daniel means God is my judge. He's so pretentious. I hate him so much. Like, I hate him more than Don Lothario, because at least he's like, I'm just who I am, man. But he's just like, my father didn't go to Mars, and I feel guilty, and my name means God is my judge, and I work hard too. And it's just like,
he's the worst. He's the worst. This is a hot take, and I will say it here first. Daniel Pleasant is worse than Don Lothario.
I agree, because at least Don is like, I am who I am. I don't know what to tell you. No apologies.
So I'll jump into Mary Sue, who, again, it cannot be said enough. I did not do Mary Sue. We did her dirty. She's super boring, but I think like there's a reason why. So very sad, soon to be stay-at-home mom, Mary Sue is getting fired when you first launch the game. This is the setup, and we'll get into the drama in a little bit, but I think she's got potential to be much more. Like, she gets fired from the business career. Let's just say it wasn't because she was incompetent, but because of some really dumb patriarchal BS rules. I'm here for Mary Sue's future.
She was working hard to support her family and do good by them.
Her blurb is, active and friendly, Mary Sue believes people are inherently good. Oh, sweet baby angel. She enjoys pottery, or used to, when she had the time. She's just your busy working mom. And we did her dirty.
I did this family dirty because I took some tropes that I wanted families to stick together, and I took tropes that I liked and just kind of, which is kind of what The Sims are for. And I took tropes that I liked and pushed them on here and kind of made some people the bad, some people the bad, some Sims the bad guy, when really maybe there's a lot of things that I understand why a 13-year-old to 15-year-old me did what I did, but I do not do it the same.
We're playing Sims way more woke now. So it's a reflection of who we are as people. Yeah, me too.
We've grown.
You can actually do pottery with Mary Sue if you have the Sims 2 free time expansion, and I bet she really loves it. So do right by her.
She can start a business selling her pottery.
That would be great. That'd be and she could be she could have artsy friends like Darren Dreamer. Oh my god. Okay. Her best friend, as set up by the game, is Cassandra Goth. So, like, what a great fun. Oh my god. Maybe if you're super woke, you can play them as a throuple. I don't know that I'm personally ready for that, but or that. Ooh. Yeah, I
don't know if Darren would be down. Darren doesn't seem like. He seems like a monogamous.
I mean,
man.
He doesn't have to be with Mary Sue. It could be Cassandra also with Mary Sue. We're getting real gay in here, so if that's what you're here for, stay tuned.
Welcome.
You'd probably need a jealousy mod in Sims 2, which I'm not sure if it existed back then, but
they do not like sharing.
The game wasn't as woke back then either, but we are, and we're doing the most now.
No.
Fun fact: Mary Sue Pleasant was adopted. Back then, she was Mary Sue Oldie is her last name. I'm trying to think if we'll talk about her family in a sec. She is adopted. She has the fortune aspiration, and she was an intern in politics at the very start of the game. But as we mentioned, when the game is set up, she is coming home and she will be fired that day. Like, that is like absolutely going to happen if you launch the game in the Pleasant household. There's some weird age inconsistencies that we'll talk through here, but you know, maybe we can find a storytelling reason for them. So Mary Sue is 7 days away from becoming an elder when the game starts, but she's only an intern. I would posit that you can be an intern at any age. See the Robert De Niro movie, The Intern.
That's true.
Maybe it's...
Maybe she took a career change midway through.
Maybe she's being forced to pay her dues at a new company. Maybe that company is full of patriarchal bullshit. Stupid.
Glass ceiling was real low.
Yeah, real low. I hate it. Supposedly, Cassandra and Mary Sue are childhood friends, but their ages don't really match up. Cassandra is at the beginning of her adult life when Mary Sue is at the end of hers. So, like, maybe, I don't know.
Mary Sue babysat Cassandra.
Maybe she was a babysitter. Maybe they were, like, in the same club. When you're grown up, the age of your friends doesn't necessarily have to match, but I see where they're going here.
I've stopped asking because sometimes it makes me sad. I'm like, you're how old? You've only been able to drink for how long? Please go away. Go away for 15 minutes and come back.
You said you're an adult? No, I don't think so, honey, but good try. Mary Sue's parents, Herb and Coral Oldie, are those not the best old people names? Herb and Coral?
They're so cute, too. They're just adorable.
Shout out to my grandpa, Herb. It's a great grandpa name.
Herb. I hope he gardens.
He did. So their ages aren't super consistent with the story either. They're elders in the sim bin when you open up the game, but even if they are... So, like, based on timeline, even if they adopted her near the beginning of their adult lives, she would still be close. She would have to be close to the beginning of her adult life, not the end. So maybe the whole Mary Sue is an elder thing is like a gameplay vehicle for Daniel is straying from his marriage because Mary Sue is old, or maybe she's been working so hard that she has added a couple years to her life. It's aging her prematurely. She just wants to sit into her pottery. Anyway.
Game's problematic. Continue.
All kinds of stuff. So her age doesn't really match up with her husband and the fact that she has like young teenage daughters. So
it does match up with her. It's the only thing that matches up is the fact that, because most of the time these people will start, because Darren and Mary Sue both have ages that match up with teenagers, having teenagers. Brandy Broke didn't, but I think we decided it was probably
she's a teen mom.
A teenage pregnancy was probs.
And like you can have children, like medical science today dictates that women can have children age 40 plus. It's like around the time you're supposed to slow down, but like, you know, medically it is possible.
Because when they say at this age, it doubles the chance that you can't have kids, but it goes from like a 0.5% to a 1% chance.
Yeah.
That's what they mean by doubles. Yeah. So it's really just medical speak to freak you out.
Yeah, medical speak. And like there are advances and, you know, anyway, privilege, blah, blah, blah. Having children when you're older is tougher, but it is possible.
Do what you want.
Anyway.
Do what you want.
Background behind the scenes in the beta of Sims 2, Mary Sue had the 4th face template and green eyes, and then somewhere along the line it was changed. So that explains why Angela and Lilith, her daughters, have the 4th face template and bear very little resemblance to Mary Sue's new changed appearance.
Because Mary Sue looks Asian-ish.
I agree.
And her children don't. And any children Mary Sue has after do heavily look like her.
Mm-hmm.
Well-meaning, but problematic. But like you should have done it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Mary Sue is actually a name used in fandoms and like literature, you could say, to describe someone who is like the perfect flawless character, perfect and boring and like a two-dimensional character. So it's interesting.
She has purple eyes and her hair seems to glow with all the colors at once when the sun hits it just right.
She is beautiful and everybody loves her.
Her dark secret is that she's related to the main bad guy, but don't hold that against her because she's super good and she's super powerful.
Yeah.
So, also she has my name.
Yeah.
I'm the author. Hello.
I wrote many Mary Sues. Amazing.
Which isn't fair for Mary Sue. She's trying very hard to seem perfect, but her husband's not helping, and her kids are fighting, and she's like, well, maybe if I work harder, that'll fix these problems, because then we'll have the nice house that we all want. And she's trying.
She's trying. We just did her so dirty.
We did.
All right, let's talk about these twins here. Caitlin, as our resident twin, please explain.
Yeah. So there's Angela Pleasant, who I will say that I did dirty when I played.
Yeah?
Because I really liked the the misunderstanding, the misunderstood dark character.
Mm-hmm.
But really, they're good. So I really played Angela off like a bitch. And then, and like Lilith is just misunderstood, which Lilith might just be misunderstood. But that doesn't mean Angela's a bitch. Because she has a good relationship with her dad, and her boyfriend is Dustin Broke, that we talked about before, but they haven't kissed yet.
He's the bad boy. So she loves her daddy, but she's all about bringing a bad boy home.
Her bio is Angela is patient and dutiful. She dreams of being a fishing boat captain, which I was reading that going like, that's what a random thing to want. What? That's cool that she's girly girl, but she's like, I want to be on a fishing boat. That sounds awesome. You're like,
that's got to be a reference to something. What the hell does that mean?
I don't know.
So weird.
I don't know what that means, but I was like, she's more depth than because I just wrote her off as like, she's just a bitch. We're just going to move on. And I'm going to like Lilith the most.
Why does she want to be a fishing boat captain? I need to know.
People have other interests.
Right.
She's a girly girl who wants to be a fishing boat captain. Hi-ho.
Good for her.
To the sea. She's the only member of the family with cooking skills. The only one. Everybody could have the ability to cook in this household, and she's the only one that cooks.
Mom's too busy. Dad's too busy getting busy.
Dad's fucking around.
Yeah.
I'm here for the explicit warning. Hello.
Hello. This episode deserves an explicit warning. We are mad as hell.
We made mistakes in our use, and we are sorry.
Can we talk about the names of the twins?
Yes.
So Caitlin and Emily, pretty standard. They don't have like opposite meanings, right?
No, they're pretty basic white girl names. Yes.
What does Caitlin mean? I know what Emily means.
It's pretty much agreed that it's broken down from like Catherine.
Okay.
Which is like light, which means light and purity. So that's what I bring.
I think my best friend was Emily growing up, and I'm pretty sure her name means industrious. Ooh. So, but there might be other name meanings in there. Fortunately, I don't see that as polar opposites because Angela means angel. Messenger of God. Lilith, on the other hand, means demon. Dark woman. Lilith, I think, was like one of the original Lucifer's first angel that I'm doing my own research for November is National Writing Month, and Lilith is definitely a character name that's making its way around. So we have a Lilith in Sims 4, Caleb Vittor's sister Lilith. So the idea that there's like a Lilith dark theme makes a lot of sense.
Dark lady.
Yeah. Lilith is the rebel sister. She's had a troubled childhood. She's probably very excited that My Chemical Romance is back.
Get that eyeliner out.
Get it out. And she is dating Dirk.
For their one concert they're coming back for.
Yeah, I didn't follow them. Sorry, Vanity. Next episode Vanity's on. I'm sure she'll talk all about it. So stay tuned. She is with Dirk Dreamer, as we mentioned. Her blurb bio says, Lilith had it harder than her twin sister, so she says. Which, just, isn't fair. And it's kind of true.
Yeah.
Okay, this is messed up.
Yes.
Per her memories, Lilith was never taught any of the toddler skills while Angela was taught them all.
That's fucked up. Why are you...
Pleasance, what the hell?
I understand having twins is hard, but you don't just, at least teach them, one each or something. Don't just pick one.
This is how you get serial killers, okay? This is how that happens.
That's why she's mad.
Yeah. As Daniel's bio mentions, his parents are Jeff and Diane Pleasant, and they show up in The Sims 1. The aspiration for Jeff, Daniel's dad and Angela and Lilith's grandfather, he dreamed of going to Mars, but he did not do that. It says R.I.P. Sim Mars. So I don't know if that expansion never happened or if Jeff just didn't do it.
It was supposed to be a separate game that died because The Sims took off. Because you know how it started with Sim City?
Oh.
Sims Mars was supposed to be another thing where I think we terraformed Mars.
Oh, okay. That sounds very Will Wright. Interesting. Okay, so Jeff just didn't have it. And then Jeff's parents were less pleasant and kinda pleasant, as in less LES, and kinda KYNDA. Love it, love it, love it. And as we mentioned, Mary Sue's parents are Herb and Coral Oldie. They adopted her. And in Sims 2, they're alive. They're in the Sim bin, and you can play them. So if you want to take them out of the Sim bin and place them in the world, then you can play as Angela and Lilith's maternal grandparents and have them around.
I had them in my big rotational play that I lost in one of my laptops that I got to like 3 generations in Pleasantville.
Oh, and that's so much harder in Sims 2.
It was a lot of timing out. It's why I very strict about like it sounds nutso pants when I have to describe how I how long I stayed in each house, because it depended on the youngest sim in it's another thing. Don't worry about it. But I put Herb and Coral Oldie. I was also running out of space, but I wanted to play all the house. So I took out all the Sims that were in the Sim bin. Herb and Carol Oldie adopted the family that was just a whole bunch of adopted lonely children.
Oh my God.
They adopted them and they stayed with them when they were, so they could help each other.
Oh my God, that is so cute. I'm crying. I'm downloading Sims 2 right now and playing that.
They're the most pure.
Oh my God. So speaking of pure, not pure, we've been alluding to this the whole time. Let's end this episode with what actually goes down if you pull up Sims 2 and launch that family, the Pleasants.
This is the peak of them setting the scenes for us to just the drama starts in Pleasantville.
Yeah. I would say, again, hot topic, but better than the Goths situation.
There's a lot of that
in my opinion.
Happen. There's a lot that you have to you just have to follow through, and the fact that we all did it is testament to how much we're like, what? Oh, yeah. Oh no.
A lot of moving parts.
So you start the game. Mary Sue goes to work. The twins go to school. Daniel has the day off. Enter the maid. Kaylin will do her job, and then afterwards ask Daniel if she can hang out now that she's done with work, which will happen if you have any kind of high relationship with one of the Sims that you hire. If you talk to the gardener a lot, he'll also be like, can I hang out? And then you say yes or no.
Okay.
You will choose yes because you're like, oh, and then you check yes. And then Daniel rolls the want to wahoo with her. You will do that because you're like,
you will.
What? Okay. So Mary Sue will then get a chance card at work. This chance card is set to fail. It will either end up with her getting demoted or her getting fired. Both of these options will end with her coming home early. And because the way that Sims 2 worked, if your partner was wahooing with somebody on the same lot, you knew the partner knew, and then would run to them.
You sense it.
Because now you can get away with anything as long as it's not in the same room. You could literally be banging somebody in the bathroom if you have mods, and then your Sim would be like, I don't know, they're fine. They're just talking in the bathroom like friends do. Whatever.
It wasn't me.
Well, me. Well, me. So Mary Sue will catch them having an affair, and then she'll slap them, and they'll fight. And that is set up. If you go in without playing, that's immediate. That will happen.
Yeah, because my tender heart cannot take it. How would I avoid this? Because I think that I did definitely take some steps, and in certain playthroughs, did not go this way.
So you can ignore the chance card, which will eliminate this entire thing. Every chance card that pops up, you have the chance to ignore it.
There you go.
Because even in your regular Sim play, it could end up with you like, oh, you got 100,000 simoleons, or you're fired. Those are the you can, if Daniel is an actual person and cleans up before Kaylin shows up or while she's there, they could get to the wahooing earlier before the chance card comes up, so they could be done by the time Mary Sue gets home. Just make sure they don't kiss goodbye.
If you're very aggressive and getting it done.
It's if we clean, we can get to wahooing faster, yes.
He's like, I'll jump in and help. Here, let me get these plates for you.
But they will kiss goodbye, so just be aware. Mary Sue has the fear of losing. This one's super mean, and I don't like it. Don't do this to Mary Sue. She doesn't deserve it.
She's had enough.
Mary Sue has the fear of losing her job a lot. So if you lock that fear by, right-clicking it before she goes to work, and when she loses her job with the chance card, she will go into aspiration failure when she gets home, and she won't, her woohoo meter won't go off until she's done having her aspiration failure, and that will give them time to be done and have her leave. Don't do that. Don't do that to her.
Wow.
It's just rude.
Wow. This is, I
read that and I was like, why would you do that to her? She's just trying to do a good job at work.
I just want to go back and do this right for Mary Sue. I mean, is this actually Pleasantville? Like, this is the town they live in? This is terrible. So if Caitlin, I just want to do right by Mary Sue. Am I ever going to get the chance again?
Well, in Sims 4 started releasing a whole bunch of Sims 2 characters in the gallery. So if you search the Pleasants are available in the gallery. So you can go play them and do right by her and have her GTFO out of there, take her kids and be like, your dad's an asshole. Don't do that to people.
Thank goodness.
But also, you know how University's coming out, or it has come out by the time this happens?
There's a University expansion pack? Oh my god, how did I not hear about that? Everyone was not talking about it.
I don't know. I don't think nobody asked for this, so I don't really understand why. It's like
never heard
random pack
anything really about this. Interesting. Tell me more.
I mean, we obviously want to go to space. We don't want University, but whatever.
# horses for vanity. Don't worry about it.
Stoves for vanity. So instead they just did the live stream. This is dating this episode, but they just did the live stream and they were like, all casual, like, oh yeah, the Pleasants are here. The two, Lilith and Angela, are playable pre-made Sims in a house, preset to play, going to the opposite colleges, living together. So you can play. The Pleasants are back. The Pleasants are back in canon, not just random. And you can have them meet their old boyfriends and have them work out if you want.
I want it.
It's all possible. You could have duplicate twins if you already downloaded the Pleasants into your game. And you could have multiple twins running around.
Oh my god, can you imagine? So are the parents going to be back, or is it just the twins?
It was just the twins, I think.
Okay, interesting.
They didn't get too far. It was literally just like, oh yeah, they're here. And everyone was like, the people in our chat, because we were hosting it, were like, the Pleasants are back.
Oh god, I will scream. All right.
Very excited for them.
And that's pretty much it for the Pleasants and the Dreamers. This was an action-packed episode.
I'm proud of our growth.
Yeah. Moral of the story, just be nice to Mary Sue, okay? She's doing her best.
She's trying.
Yeah.
Her husband's an asshole. It's like everyone being mad. Like, Hera, I'm going to Greek mythology.
Yes.
Like Zeus, Hera is the goddess of marriage, and her fucking husband turns into a gust of wind and impregnates women, and she's just supposed to hold it together.
Yeah.
Should she take it out on the poor women who get raped by her husband and the child that happens? Probably not. No. But she's the goddess of marriage. She can't exactly leave her husband.
Well, and you know who wrote Greek myths about that's a cruel joke to make the wife of a rapist the goddess of marriage. You know who wrote Greek myths? Greek dudes. Okay? Yeah.
Greek dudes. Mm-hmm. We all need... Persephone and Hades had the best marriage. He kidnapped her, but he never cheated on her. That's all I'm saying.
Beauty and the Beast. There you go.
All I'm saying.
We all have our flaws.
It started out problematic, but it did turn out relationship goals.
Amazing. So let's slide right into our new segment. Is it a new segment anymore? It's just a segment.
No.
Our favorite segment. What just happened?
What just happened?
This one comes to us from Moselle on Facebook. What a lovely name, Moselle.
I like it.
Moselle. Moselle. Mademoiselle. Beauty and the Beast. So Moselle was doing the 100 Baby Challenge that is so popular right now, thanks to BuzzFeed and Kelsey. I was doing the 100 Baby Challenge, and my first mom heard a noise at night and went to go investigate in her pajamas. Problem was, it was also winter. Aliens abducted her, but since she was outside for the whole abduction taking place, she was freezing cold and they brought her back. She walked inside, froze into a popsicle, and keeled over. Wow.
Did the aliens not have central heating? What's wrong with them?
It's probably really cold in space, and oh God, that's a problem. That's like a direct conflict. Also, in this playthrough, her granddaughter aged up into a young adult while she was having a mood swing from being a teenager, so she died of a cardiac explosion from being mad. Yeah.
No.
Check out our episode on the different kinds of deaths to hear us get real mad about that fateful mood swing age up moment. So be very careful when you're aging up your teenagers. Just keep an eye on it.
Deadly.
What can we look forward to in an episode coming up, Kaylin?
So, this is the end of the year. Holy shit.
No, it's not.
No. What happened in 2019?
No, it's not. It's only June. Thank you for trying, but I'm still in summer. It's not cold. It's not under 30 degrees outside right now.
If you don't hear from Melissa again, it's because she froze to death.
That's right.
So.
Yep. My walk to work. Just do, and I'm frozen.
So the next episode, Team Cowplant is going to be doing a first look over review of Discovery University. New pack alert. Ooh. Pipe.
Get hype. Okay, I'm hype.
Team Llama will be coming back with an in-depth look at, we're going to go another take at MC Command Center. We're going to try to call it by its actual name.
We probably won't.
Actually,
That's fine.
take that back. But we're going to be more detailed because the first one was an overview, and this one will be actually, if you click the computer, this is what happens. When you click the sim, this will be what happens. If you click the mailbox, this will be what happens.
Part one of probably many, because it's a big old mod, and I need to re-download it to be able to speak to this. So,
yeah.
Also coming up, if you're listening to this as it comes out, let's give a happy American Thanksgiving to our American listeners. Happy Harvest Fest. Talking Sims, and eat some turkey, and don't shop on Black Friday because it is soul crushing for our retail worker friends. Go out and shop Small Business Saturday.
Yeah.
Let's do some shout outs.
Okay.
On Instagram, Zoom Zoe Games says,
I love it.
Hey guys, here's a sneak peek of my latest build. Oh my God. Thank you so much. It started its life as a tiny house inspired by Tiny House Nation on Netflix. Great show. But it grew as my Sim family did. It's available to download from the gallery. If curiosity has salted your soul, a phrase I'm using forever now. Thank you for that also.
We have plenty of salt.
Yeah. If curiosity has salted your soul, feel free to check it out. My new favorite way to play is to listen to @Plumbobcast episodes while building. If you download this, make sure to have bb.moveobjects on, have that sheet enabled for everything to place correctly. And her gallery ID is Zoom Zoe Games. That's ZOOM ZOOMZOEGAMES. Zoom Zoe Games on the gallery. Zoom Zoe Games. Thank you. This looks,
make your heart go boom boom.
Zoom, make my heart go boom, boom, boom. Supernova girl. Yeah. Amazing. Thanks for that throwback.
You're welcome.
This is like a co-shout out, this next one.
Yes, we love her. Sim Style Designs, aka Kayla, is one of our Simizin patrons. Hey girl, hey. You can find her builds on Tumblr. She loves CC, especially. She gave this shout out. She loves CC, especially Peacemaker. She was amazed that she did not know that Right Hearted existed, and she thanks us for letting her know what are custom content episodes.
Yeah, check those out. Earlier episodes, you can navigate through all of those on our website. I'll tell you a little bit more about how you can reach out to us. Here we go. We are Plumbobcast on Instagram and Twitter, Plumbob Podcast on Reddit, Under the Plumbob Podcast on Facebook and Tumblr. Our website is undertheplumbob.com. Our contact form is on there, or you can email us directly at undertheplumbobpodcast@gmail.com. We're also now on Twitch and YouTube, where we provide video content. Under the Plumbob Podcast. Just put it in the search bar. Don't be lazy. We now have a weekly Twitch stream at 11:30 a.m. Eastern U.S. time. Oh my God, that's 7 minutes from right now, and Caitlin has to leave to actually do the stream. You can subscribe, rate, and review us using Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, Google Play. We're going to be on more very soon. We're in the Pandora app right now. Check us out. We have a Patreon. You can follow our page and check out all the options to be a patron. It's as little as like $1 a month. Everybody who contributes, everybody who's a patron gets into our private Discord channel where you can talk to us and give us episode ideas that we definitely use and appreciate. It's like a win-win, pretty much. We have merch too. Check that out. There's some cute stuff. We got mugs.
We have hoodies now.
We got hoodies. We got bags. We got all the things. Entertainment 720. No, just kidding.
Don't make
sorry. Entertainment 720. Parks and Rec reference. For this episode, we got a ton from the family trees on the fandom, the wiki, Sims Wiki. So thank you so much to that site. A shout out also to the YouTubers who provided some background info on the Pleasants and the Dreamers. Krill Sims 3, aka Sim Facts on YouTube, had a Pleasants video, and Plumbella had a Pleasants video that we watched. We also found an episode of The Sims lore on YouTube, and that gave us a little bit of background about the Dreamers. So thanks to them for having that available. And our dear, dear friend Melly, who has not made an appearance in a while, but she's in our hearts and she is in our script because she wrote out a ton of this content. Thank you so much, Melly. And thank you so much, Caitlin. Your knowledge on the fly in here was very, very helpful.
My obsessive gaming is useful.
Right here. Mom. Yeah. Mom, we're making a successful podcast. Don't even worry about it. We want to thank, as always, our lovely Sims community fan sites. As we mentioned, the Sims Wiki, Carl's Sims 4 Guide. Thanks to Tim from Marissa. And thanks Tim. There's one more I wanted to mention. Oh, just thanks to the development team and Maxis for hosting the Maxis Monthlies. We are so hype about university. And probably by the time you're listening to this, we're already playing. So don't even worry about it.
Woohooing you did not watch, but you can woohoo the robots.
Yeah, robot woohoo. Listen, that's all we care about. And we know that you care about it too, because you're weird like us. Thank you so much for listening and loving this game. We're going to hop off back to the real world. Well, I am. Caitlin's going to go into the stream in 5 minutes. So join her there every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks, everybody. Anything else to add, Caitlin?
Thank you.
Sul, everybody. Bye. Or dag. Bye. Whatever.
Dag.
Hello, goodbye.
Hello. It's like old. It's like
you say goodbye,
dag.
And I say hello.
And I
don't use that.
Hello.
We can't. It's copyrighted. Okay, bye.